This interview is about home and school connections. We're going to talk about culturally responsive teaching. The questions are: what are cultural influences on teaching and learning? And what is cultural competence and its role in the instructions of English learners? How can English learners' cultural values and beliefs be integrated appropriately in the context of teaching and learning? In many cases, a student's home cultural practices may contrast with the norms they encounter at school. This is why cultural influences play a huge role in teaching and learning, because students bring their own values, traditions, and ways of interacting with their peers. On the other hand, cultural competence means being aware of these differences and using them to create inclusive instruction, especially for English learners. For example, if students come from a collectivist culture that values group success, I might design more collaborative activities rather than only focusing on individual work. Integrating students' cultural beliefs like storytelling, music, or family traditions help them connect personally to the lesson and feel valued in the classroom. Another question: what is the role of culture in student learning? How do school and classroom environments influence language acquisition? And what steps are necessary to create an inclusive environment? Well, culture also shapes students learn and engage. A school or classroom that celebrates diversity encourages English learners to take risks in language learning without fear or judgment. We need visuals, multilingual resources, culturally diverse texts, and clear routines so English learners know what to expect and can focus on learning rather than navigating uncertainty. To create an inclusive environment, I would welcome cultures by asking students and their families to share pictures, images, or just sentimental objects like flags or keepsakes. Narrative or well-known tale using words, images, gestures, and body language. Another question: what are some strategies for supporting and celebrating cultural diversity within instruction? What are some strategies for leveraging home language and cultural assets? Sorry. Some strategies for supporting diversity include using literature that represents many cultures, celebrating holidays in ways that honor students' backgrounds, and allowing students to share their experiences as part of class discussions. Leveraging home language is powerful too. Encouraging bilingual books, labeling classroom items in multiple languages, or letting students brainstorm in their first language before sharing in English. This shows that their home language is an asset, not a barrier. Supporting the needs of English learners in the classroom. The questions about this are: what are some strategies for responsiveness to the different strengths, needs, and identities for all English learners, including special needs? What are some opportunities and approaches to meet the social and emotional needs of English learners? Every English learner is unique. Some may also have special needs, while others have different strengths and learning preferences. To respond effectively, I can provide differentiated instruction using visual, sentence frames, or technology tools like translation apps. Social and emotional needs are equally important. English learners may feel isolated, so strategies like peer buddies, small group discussions, and safe spaces to share experiences build belonging. Another question: what is the importance of understanding the social, emotional, and cultural needs of students when establishing classroom routines and procedures? When I design routines and procedures, I think not just about academics, but about making sure students feel emotionally safe and culturally respected. My classroom culture would be shaped by the language that I and the students will use and the procedures I would use to teach. Children flourish in a community where everyone contributes and everyone is valued. Making an effort to greet them in their language is a good option, or providing opportunities to share about their culture shows that they belong here. Talking about home and school connections, the question is how might family and community practices, fonts of language of knowledge, influence language learning? Family and community practices or fonts of knowledge are rich resources for language learning. The experiences that students have with their families allow them to demonstrate competence and knowledge that can be used in the classroom. Teachers should consider how students view their households as part of their strengths and resources and how they learn best. English language learners' perceptions can be changed by connecting instruction to their own lives. Another question: what are some strategies to build and foster strong family, community, and school partnerships? What are effective family engagement practices that support and highlight the assets of home languages, including communication, family involvement, and providing intentional strategies for families of English learners? To build partnerships, I can invite families to share traditions, hold bilingual family nights, or use simple, clear communication in multiple languages. Effective engagement means not only translating newsletters, but also listening to families, asking about their goals, and providing tools they can use at home, such as reading strategies in their first language. Inclusive community engagement can look like collaborating with local cultural organizations or hosting multilingual events that bring everyone together. Thank you for listening.